into everyday life and where we are seeing the future today by the choices that we are making. Wasn't planning on doing a video today, but then I heard the Lord as I've been hearing the Lord, and He's been speaking to me and giving me some unusual assignments. Now I have done videos on Shabbat before, but not always. That's not always the case. However, this is an unusual weekend, and I guess because we're coming out of one Gregorian year, 2022, and we're going into a new Gregorian year. And then, of course, I always look at the year, the Gregorian year, linked to the Hebrew year, the Hebrew calendar. And so we're in the month of Tavet, which is the 10th Hebrew month, and I think today is the 8th day of Tavet. So there's just a lot the Lord is calling me to do. Even on tomorrow night, we'll be here doing a night of prayer and prophecy, and we've never done that before, especially on the first day of the new year. But again, we heard the Lord say that he wanted me to minister to the people. So join us tomorrow night. We'll be here to pray. We'll be here to prophesy, and we're just believing the Lord is going to meet us. But early this morning, I heard the Lord say, "Talk about the year." And give the revelation of the year. Why is the year so important? And of course, when God created time, which is recorded in Genesis chapter 1, around the 14th verse, I think if it doesn't start the 14th verse, it I believe it ends on the 14th verse. But on the fourth day, and I'm just going to go ahead and turn to it because we want to be accurate when we're sharing scriptures with you. And so on the fourth day, God created time. It actually starts, yes, on the 14th verse of Genesis 1. And God created time, and God created certain units uh, to make up time in the earth. And one of those units of time is called the year. And so today we're in the last day of the Gregorian calendar, which is the calendar most used in the world. Even though God did not create the Gregorian calendar, the calendar that God established is what we call the Hebrew calendar, which was given to the Hebrew people when they were coming out of Egypt. When they were coming out of Egypt, and they were entering into their new phase of life as a free people. And so God gave them a calendar to demonstrate their new life. Now, before then, I don't know what the calendar was. So I don't know the calendar for Adam and Eve, what calendar that Abraham followed, Noah followed. Of course, we have dates throughout the Bible before God gave the calendar to Israel in Exodus. But as of yet, I have not discovered what calendar did those patriarchs or men and women of God follow. But the Hebrew calendar, we teach that because we believe it is a prophetic calendar. We believe that God speaks to us in time by the Hebrew calendar, and if you follow it, it will cause you to prosper, and it will cause you to operate in the time that God has established. So this morning, the Lord says, "Talk to my people about the year and the significance of the year, because that was one of the units of times that God created when he created time on the fourth day." So when we look at the Hebrew word for year, the Hebrew word for year is shana. And I'm just going to share with you the three meanings from the three Hebrew letters that make up the year, because in each of these letters, there's a revelation given as to how we should live the year. Now, you can apply this to the Gregorian calendar. You can apply it to the Hebrew calendar. You can apply it to any calendar, all right? And if you live by, I believe if you live by these three Hebrew letters and turn them into principles, make them principles to live by, then at the end of a year, you're going to see great you're going to see great prosperity in your life. Okay, so the first Hebrew letter in the year is the letter Shin, and Shin actually because each Hebrew letter has a pictorial, it has a picture. I'm sorry I don't have any slides for you, but we're trying to finish this because we've got a lot of the stuff to do today. So you'll just have to follow the words, and you can always go to the Hebrew alphabet in Hebrew for Christians. You can find the Hebrew alphabet there. Hebrew for Christians is one of the greatest resources in terms of helping us to understand the Hebrew and understanding the prophetic nature of the Hebrew language. All right. So the first letter is Shin, and Shin, because it is a picture, because each Hebrew letter is a picture, it looks like two front teeth. And so from the letter Shin, we get the two front teeth, which represents to eat. So in the division of time, which actually is the last thing we want to talk about. So in the division of time, all right, when we look at Shin, Shin actually means two. And so in a year, all right, the number two always represents agreement. So as you're entering into a year, the first thing you want to have in order to succeed is you have to have agreement with yourself, which is the agreement between spirit, soul, and body. You want to have agreement in your relationships. If you're a married person, if there's a significant person in your life, you want to have agreement. If you are part of a family, of course, all of us are part of families, but if you're functioning in a family, if it's your work, agreement is essential to you having a great year. There's no way for you to have a good year or a great year if there's no agreement. All right. So Shin is the letter for agree. And agreement means to see the same thing. It means to have agreement on the same vision, to agree on the same path or on the same project. Okay. Agreement simply means two or more people coming together and saying yes to the same things. So that letter Shin is the letter of agreement, two coming together. Two teeth, two front teeth are together and they function in agreement. All right. And then and then the last another word for Shin is the another word that describes the letter Shin is the letter eat. Okay, and eat means to consume or to be fed what you are seeing. So then you have to eat the vision, you have to eat the agreement, which means you are internalizing it. It's not just because this is how a lot of people mess up their year is they're not internalizing the agreement. So if you say to me, we're entering into a partnership, and you say to me, I'm your partner, but you're not internalizing it or eating it, then that's not true agreement and you will not prosper. So a lot of people are eating, but they're not internalizing. So you have to internalize the thing that you're coming into agreement with. That is how you have a great year. Internalize it, eat it. All right. digest it, make it a part of your inner being, your mind, your brain, your heart. Make it a part of the inner you. All right. All right. Now, here's the second letter. The second letter in Shana, which is the Hebrew word for year, is the letter Nun. And Nun is the letter for seed or sowing. Nun means to sow or to plant seeds. So throughout the year, you have to be in the business. Your business is to sow seed. Okay. Now, sowing, of course, when, if you grew up in church, sowing always talks about money. It talks about sowing into the church or sowing into the man and woman of God. That's only a part of sowing. Sowing is planting in any area where you see the value of the ground, and you desire to plant in that ground because you're going to receive. Now, this is what a lot of religious people don't understand about sowing, because some of y'all are sowing and you're not receiving from the ground. Okay? But when God gave us the law of sowing and reaping, which starts in Genesis 1, because everything that was created, that was sowed, because creation is sowing, everything that was created also has the ability to give back, which is what reaping is. And then in Genesis 8, the Lord established this as a law. He says, as long as the earth remains, there will always be seed time and harvest. So seed time is sowing into something, and harvest is receiving the benefit of your seed. Okay. So within a year, one of your primary activities in a year is to sow, to reap. Now, even though the letter Nun means the seed, there should never be the sowing without the reaping. Reaping is the consequence of sowing. Reaping is why we sow. So wherever you are sowing, there should be an expectation for you to receive. And some of you, the reason why you have bad year, you had a bad year this year, is because you kept sowing into places, people. You kept sowing into places, into people and you wasn't reaping from them. Okay, which means you're not seeing the benefit. So to sow means that throughout the year, I have a place to sow. Now, for me, I have plenty of places to sow. There are ministries that I sow into. I sow into my mentor. I sow into her ministry. There are other ministries that I sow into, but I also sow into relationships. I sow into people who are of value to me. I also sow into the poor. Okay. Don't do that as much as I would like. I sow into projects. All right. So there are specific things that I sow in throughout the year because I have an expectation of reaping. Now, here's something else about sowing. Here's something else, or rather, about the letter Nun. Nun also is the letter for faithfulness. So being faithful simply means that you are consistent in your practice. Consistent in your practice. If you're going to have a great year, you got to be faithful to someone or something. All right. Faithful to your job, faithful to your business, faithful in your ministry, faithful in your relationship. Y'all get that? Faithfulness simply means that you are dependable, you're trustworthy, and you are always showing up. And you keep doing the same thing. Now, here's the thing about faithfulness. Faithfulness is not always exciting because it requires a consistency and it requires a sameness. I keep doing the same thing. But in my faithfulness, there is rewards for faithfulness, which is also linked to sowing. So faithfulness is actually sowing. And in my faithfulness, the letter Nun means to be faithful. Jesus Christ, Nun represents Jesus Christ, and Jesus was faithful in everything that he was sent to do. All right, faithful. Now, here's the third letter in the word Shane. Okay, Shane also, the third letter is the letter Hey. Hey is the letter for revealed or revelation. All right. So what is revelation? Well, revelation, throughout the year, you should be receiving revelation, which is an uncovering of things that you have not known, or the discovery of things that you were not aware of. And so in Revelation, all right, in Revelation, we are prospering and advancing because things are being revealed to us. So this year, okay, whether it was 2022 or 2023, you should see revelation. There should be an uncovering of things that you have not known, and the discovering of things that you have not known. And revelation means that there's an opening up of things that were previously not open to you. And so, hey, all right, hey, to behold, to look at, to see, okay, to prosper, to advance. And so if you do these three things consistently, okay, if you are, first of all, if there's agreement in every month of your life, there should be agreement in every month of your life. You should be, because there's some things that you have to continue doing until you reach that, until you hit that spot, until you hit that moment of prosperity. There are just some things in some places. So you want to keep on agreeing. You want to keep agreement. All right. You need to have a vision for the year. Break up that vision into 3 months. Break up that 3-month vision into 1 month, and then make sure that there is agreement throughout your life. Then throughout the year, you want to keep sowing and sowing because you have an expectation to reap. And then throughout the year, you want to keep seeing the revelation that the Lord is giving you. So this is this is why I believe the Lord created the year, because within that year, that 12-month period, whether you're following the linear year, which is the Gregorian year, which is based on the sun, or you're following the cyclical year, which is the year of the Hebrew, based on the Hebrew calendar, which follows the moon. But whatever year you are facing, if you do these three things, okay, if you follow these three things, the letter Shin, the letter Nun, the letter Hey, and you are consistent throughout the year, then you're going to prosper. And I'm not saying you're going to prosper at the end of the year. I'm saying throughout the year, you're going to see the benefits. You're going to see the benefits of your agreement. You're going to see the benefits of your sowing. You're going to see the benefits of your seeing. All right. God bless you. I hope to see y'all tomorrow night, 7:30. That's Sunday, January 1, 2023. We're going to have a night of prayer and prophecy. Please go to our description box, take a look at our products. And then lastly, subscribe to this channel, like this video, and share this video. All right. God bless you. When you subscribe, I don't say this enough, but when you subscribe, you need to tap on that bell, which will then allow you to get the notifications every time we do a video. Shalom.